This is what I'm getting. This is the content that they think I'm interested in. 5 times pro players were banned in League of Legends.
In online video games, players can get banned for a variety of reasons. Cheating, going AFK, and maybe even for saying a couple bad words.
It was at this time that I called this malfight a
But the average player can just make a new account and start their journey all over again. Professional players can't quite do that. And over the years, pro gamers have ran into creative ways to be suspended or
completely
banned.
That's why I clicked the video. I thought they'd be talking
gaming.
some shit.
Today, we take a look at
not really talking shit. It is what it is.
some of those instances. But before we get into that,
Bro, that was an esports had
ways
passion
to
right
be
there.
Suspended or completely
Let's go. Void Boy left us for COG. We beat him at the next one, or we beat COG right afterwards.
banned from professional gaming.
That shit hyped
Today,
me up.
we take a
I was
look
ready to
at
go.
some of those instances. But before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Professor. Professor is a useful companion app for League of
I broke the fuck out of that headset, and the sponsor was really happy about it.
Legends that will help you improve in your future
They're like, well, we can get you more headsets. You want to break more of them?
games. I've said it before.
Bro, I think that was the first time that any of my clips ever went like viral. Like, to me, that was viral at the time. It was like 100K views. Like 100K views in like, this was what, May of 2012? I was like, holy shit.
But Professor gives you everything you need, including things you didn't know you needed. The app provides you with automatically importing the best runes, jungle timers on the map, patch notes specific to the champions you actually play, information about your teammates and opponents, and a lot more. Like their dodge detected feature. You're about to get into a game, then in the last second, someone dodges. You now get put into a new lobby with the same teammates. This usually means that the same opponents are on the other side. So this feature reminds you of who they chose, and you can have the opportunity of banning some of their desired champions. Overall, Professor can greatly improve how you play the game. Download Professor for free with the first link in the description.
Okay.
Now with that being said,
I've been
let's
sponsored by Professor as well.
jump into the video.
After playing more, I don't think I'll probably ever partner with I think that these stat checking things are really nice. I love the pre-game overlay because I do that stuff anyway. I feel like just like going on op.gg and looking up what your teammates play and stuff. I think that's really useful information. But I think the camp timers are just like, I just don't think they're healthy.
Beginning with one of the more extreme punishments, an official permanent ban from professional League of Legends for making a joke. You tell me if you think they deserved it. This happened in April of 2021 to the player named Zeros from Vietnam. One of the most popular
I get this guy's TikToks all the time. I now have my own TikTok, so I like, you know, I try to like see what's going on in the app. And the algorithm is actually pretty fucking good in my experience. I only get League, basketball, and like stuff related to like esports. That's pretty much all I get.
Players in the region. The situation goes like this. One day on his live stream, he said, quote, "I hope that the pandemic situation gets worse so no Vietnamese team can go to MSI this year." The context here is that his team was just recently eliminated from qualifying
So his team is like bad. Dude, come on. And that got him a permaban.
to MSI. So this was really just a salty comment towards the teams that surpassed his team. However,
I mean, the way I would interpret, I mean, yeah, sure, that's how it could be interpreted. Maybe the joke was like, we're like, Vietnam's so bad right now, I hope that like we don't can have anyone go to MSI.
the organization that operates professional League of Legends in Vietnam did not take his comment as a joke. Simply due to his comments, the player was quickly...
That's something you would say, Dom? I mean, I might have, bro, I don't know how old he was. How old is he? I would have said that if I was pre-25, I was mentally ill, right? I am still mentally ill, but like, he was 21. Oh yeah, I would have definitely said that when I was 21.
permanently...
What was that? When I was 21, it was 2011. Oh, I would have 100% said that shit in 2011. Are you kidding me?
banned from participating in future professional games. The only additional background you should know is that the player had received behavior punishments and warnings in the past, so it seemed this could have been a last straw situation. However, I think many would agree that the punishment was a tad bit excessive. Also, I should mention that for a variety of reasons, in the end, no Vietnamese team actually ended up going to MSI that year. They may have punished him, but...
I mean, it's cringe, but it's ban-worthy. I mean, the thing is, like, what I never understand is, like, the severity of the punishments. Like, you realize that for doing this, he got a lifetime ban. Like, he was saying it in a jokey way. Like I think that it's different to be like him saying, I think people should die. Like, I think that the pandemic is, like, fake. I think people should die. Like, if he's saying that shit, that's a completely different vibe than him being like, he's not even actually talking about the pandemic. He's just like, I don't want any VCS teams going to MSI this year. That's what he's trying to say. And it's like, yeah, it's like a little bit crass, but like lifetime ban, like his life is completely over because of this. I don't know, bro. That seems crazy to me.
His wish came true. Moving along with number 4, this was a strange story that took place in Worlds of 2021. This is Maan, a player that would go on to be...
Oh, this is the guy. I remember him. Isn't that a different spelling? It was Mauan. Yeah. Oh, wait. O-A-N. Okay, yeah. This is a guy who somebody just like randomly Googled a picture of like tits and then said like, oh, I'll give you like, and then they're pretending to be a girl and they're like, oh, I'll send you a picture of like my tits in my bra if you like match fix this game or some shit like this. And then he's like, okay, I'll match fix the game. And then it was just a random picture. It was probably like some dude and it was just a random picture of like a random girl online that they just reverse image searched and found.
Suspended mid-tournament due to leaking team strategies to third parties who would use the information for gambling.
Prohibiting association with gambling, Maan is now suspended for the remainder of the 2021 World Championship and may be subject to additional penalties following a full investigation.
Specifically, he was caught texting someone what champions his team...
Bro, that's crazy. This was 2021. I feel like this wasn't that long ago. Like, to me, this wasn't that long ago. Like, all the years are starting to fucking blend together, bro. This is crazy.
Would pick before their matches. But it's even worse than it sounds, because allegedly he was getting catfished by someone pretending to be an attractive female. As in the text conversations that were leaked, the person Maan is speaking with sends a interesting picture. However, this woman is a popular Instagram model with over 1 million followers.
Okay, guys. I'll show you her Instagram. So this is the person that he was texting, Maan, when he got banned. Okay? Yeah? We've seen it now? Yeah, we've seen it.
And when this story started going viral, she posted on her story saying that she did not know who Maan was and that that picture already existed on her other social medias. Regardless of how you look at it, this guy was making mistakes left and right and ultimately ruined his esports opportunities. Maan has not been active in esports since this happened. Number 3, banned for just not being a nice guy. As I mentioned earlier, players online can have their accounts banned for being toxic in the game chat. And these rules actually apply to pro players as well. In 2013, Riot made an example out of the popular player IWillDominate by banning him for an entire year from professional League of Legends due to his toxicity in solo queue games.
I like how that's how it's even phrased, that they made an example out of me. Like, what the fuck? Why did I have to be the example? Like, I think that was like the idea, right? Like, they're like, okay, we're gonna make sure that like that even if you're on a top team, even if you go to Worlds, you can get banned.
Allegedly, Riot said that his accounts were in the top 1% of most toxic accounts.
And this was revealed, like, okay, so I talked about this so many times. Those accounts that they used, I had like 2 accounts. I didn't have like 8 or 9 accounts. I think there was like 7 or 8 accounts. Originally, I had an idea. Before I became a pro player, I had an idea that I was going to try to be like an educational. I was going to essentially try to do what like Solo Mid ended up doing with like guides, right? I was trying to do champion guides. And I had a bunch of accounts signed up under my name. And I had my friend, like, and obviously this breaks like the rules, right? And this is something that later on, like, dude, I didn't care about TOS at all. I still don't really care about TOS in like most games, I'll be honest. I just scroll through it, I just collect the box, whatever. But I just had different people level accounts for me, so that I would have a bunch of different accounts to play on. And the idea was that I would have like different accounts and I would do high ranked climbs with different accounts and I would like create guides on champions, because that's what was really big. When League was new, it was all about like, oh, guides, like you can do like a video guide to a champion. So I had like a million different accounts and I'm like, bro, I don't even know what's being said on half these accounts. Like I was never banned on my main account. I was never like perma banned on my main account. Like I was like, I don't even think chat restrictions existed. Yeah, I don't even know, like maybe I got banned at some point for like 3 days or 7 days. I have no clue what bans I got on my main account, but it was like I wasn't getting permabanned. I wasn't like actually saying insanely crazy shit. It was just like I had so many accounts that's like, yeah, this is like they're using all of them. And then I was like, hey, like I can prove that there are other people. Like if you check IPs and stuff, you can prove that there are other people playing on these accounts, and it just didn't matter.
But we've actually spoken about this story before. Instead, despite giving this warning, 2 more players received the same punishment in the following month. The players were Envision and Linek. However, Envision was in a league of his own. Riot stated that one of Envision's accounts was reported 436 times in a span of 135 games. Meaning he was getting reported by at least
piece of shit. I mean, they weren't really friends. Like I just literally just paid for random people to level my accounts. Like who else can sit here? And like back then it used to be really cheap. It's like $25. Like okay, $25 you'll level an account from 1 to 30. Also, you have to consider that leveling accounts used to be like 2 to 3 times as long of a process as it is now.
Players per game on average. So you know, he might have deserved it. Now, following that story with number 2, this is a similar situation, but just taken to the next level. This happened to a player named SoFM who was heavily...
Bro, I mean, you see it with all the streamers getting banned when they play on streams. I mean, most people still, to this day, pay for people to play on accounts. It just is what it is. You don't want to sit there and level accounts normally if you have, you know, disposable income. You'd much rather just pay for somebody to do it. Like, it is so crushing leveling an account. I hand leveled an account after that because I thought they were going to be like really strict on me. So my next account after I got banned, I started the next day. I leveled an account 1 to 30. It took like 2 weeks of me grinding all day, every day.
Punished for going AFK in a solo queue game. The moment was actually captured during another player's livestream. SoFM is the jungle Graves in this game.
Wait,
he goes for a gang livestream.
SoFM got
situation,
banned?
but just taken to the next level. This happened to a player named SoFM who was heavily punished for going AFK in a solo queue game. The moment was actually captured during another player's livestream. SoFM is the jungle Graves in this game. He goes for a gank, the gank goes bad, and he rage quits by selling all of his items only 9 minutes into the game. Additional fun fact, SoFM and his team Sunning were just playing in the World Finals a little over a week ago from this taking place. But anyway, due to representing his team in a poor light and probably breaking some agreements that he signed on, the player was fined an entire month's salary. Now, what makes this punishment worse is that this guy is one of the highest paid players in professional esports, making his fine allegedly somewhere between $200,000 to $250,000. If those numbers are true, this is probably the
Really? SoFM was getting paid $200K a month? That's like more than like Chovy and people are getting paid. Is that really a fucking thing? That makes no sense.
Most expensive mistake ever made in a solo queue game. And finally, to close off the video, players banned for match fixing. I've actually wanted to make a video about this, but it's not ultimately...
I just don't believe it, to be honest. I don't believe he's getting paid that much. Like there's like SoFM costs $2.5 million a year. You're telling me? Yeah, I think it's cap. China money? China money is not that great. Like that is crazy money, bro.
The most interesting topic, as it's pretty straightforward. Basically, every year, a handful of professional players ruin their esports careers by getting caught trying to organize illegal bets on whether their team will win or lose. For example, you can bet that your team will lose, and in the next game, you play as poorly as possible.
This almost never happens. Like, I mean, this happens sometimes, maybe VCS it happened, but like normally what people are accused of is spot fixing. Spot fixing is what happens in pro league more than other stuff, which is like giving first blood or something like that. So you die, you give first blood, and then you play the rest of the game normally because it's a lot harder to detect than match fixing. Like it's very hard to lose a game when you're in a giga winning state when people know what pro league is supposed to look like.
This happens in every esport as well, and oftentimes
especially if the whole team is not doing it, right? Like you can do, like let's say you could start a shitty Baron if all 5 members are involved, but a lot of times these bets are being carried out by like 1 or 2 players on the team, so you can very easily tell which players are trying to lose the game.
for as much money as you'd think. There was a story many years back of a Dota team named Roxkiss who played very poorly during an important game. Later there was an investigation that proved that players on the team came together to place a $100 bet on their team to lose. They obviously ended up throwing their game and cashed their prize of $322. Now, in this specific situation, this wasn't a big team or anything, so this money could have been significant to them. However, it was high risk, and once it was confirmed that they intentionally threw for the bet, all players involved were banned from the respective tournament. And this story happened in 2013, but it genuinely happens all of the time. Just 2 years ago, there was a story where 38 people were banned between the Chinese LPL and the LDL, their secondary league. Each and every one of these 38 people who happened to be players and coaches were all involved in a degree of match fixing to earn extra money. Something interesting about the bans given to the players in this situation was that one of the worst bans was a 2-year suspension given to Wei Yan. However, during this time, they also officially banned him from live streaming the game, which is a rare inclusion and reminds me of when Tyler 1 was prohibited from owning a League of Legends account. Gambling with League of Legends matches even stretches into solo queue. It wasn't long ago when it was discovered that players were placing bets on Faker's ranked matches. These gamblers would later try to contact Faker's teammates and pay them money to throw in the game. After accepting the deal, the gambler can make a larger bet on Faker to lose, knowing that it's now almost guaranteed. The same thing happens with general challenger matches as well. There are shady Chinese gambling websites that allow players to bet on whether or not random challenger players will win or lose. The player Saskio on Twitter shared exactly how this goes down. The gamblers send messages like this: "Do you cooperate with the anchor? I'll give you $100 if you lose. I believe you can pay first." This is obviously a rough Google translated message, but you get the point. They likely even mean that they will pay first if you accept.
And then they just show a clip of Vayne, which is Saxio's main inting. Nice. So they're making it look like Saxio accepted it or what? That's crazy.
And I'm sure this actually works, because to many people, a quick $100 might be
offer
worth
you any
the
money to
risk.
win trade. So no, I've never got a message like that.
Alright, conclusion.
But I don't add random people on any of my accounts either.
Don't be toxic, and gambling is bad. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week.
So for this, one thing I'll say about the betting is, okay, so full disclaimer, I've never been partnered with the site when they had these bets. Like, so I was not in the mix. I'm not trying to fucking defend gambling sites for it. I will say that for Faker, it's different, right? He's huge. He's doing, like, those are big Chinese betting sites. Whatever. I don't know anything about the Faker ones. I know about the NA ones that people were saying, like all the streamers would complain every game that they were getting bet on. That like, oh man, it's like, it's all the betters. Like, that's what's happening. This was like the meta of the thing to complain about. You know, like, it used to be like, it was like ghosting for a period of time. Then for a period of time, it was like win trading. Then for a period of time, it's like target inting. Like, there was always like a meta of like what streamers would complain about. When the meta became gambling, I actually did some personal research to see like how much, and it's like the most you could put on these games on like the sites that they were claiming was like 25 cents or like 50 cents or like $1. Like $1 would be like huge. That'd be like the most that somebody could put on the game per account. So the idea that like random streamers that had like 100 viewers were losing every game because people were just betting against them constantly, I think it was definitely over exaggerated the importance of what it was.